Full bias. I think I've just been the most engaged in a Smash tournament I've ever been in my life, and it has absolutely everything to do with Sora getting to Grand Finals in a North America major. Maybe a major? I don't know. That term does get used loosely a bit, but that's because there's just a lot of Smash tournaments month to month, and lots of players competing in them. Not every top player fully showed up to this event because of Smash Summit taking place just a week before, so there was definitely a lot of burnout. However, there were still a whole lot of players here. Quite a few of the best currently, and it's still insanely impressive for what is a lot of people's first peek at what a top level Sora looks like against some of the best. The player who did this was Kame, who has been playing Sora since his release, alongside characters like Sheik and Mega Man, though in this tournament it was all Sora that got him to Grand Finals against Light, which ended in him getting second place, but that doesn't make the run any less impressive. Kame also won the PreGlipsch tournament as well, which I definitely made more people keep an eye on him going into the main bracket, where he only dropped a set to Sonics in a very, very unfortunate way. Literally 1 second remaining in what was probably one of the most tense sets I've watched in a while. And also dropping in Grand Finals to Light, who is the best player in North America right now. Until those games, Kame would beat players like Jake, who's been one of the best Steves, Zomba playing Rob, PK Chris, and overcoming Sonics in a rematch in the Losers Finals for what was a amazing bracket run overall. And all with Sora too, not switching characters, just Sora. Now, while a lot of people who don't follow the Japan scene are new to Kame has had a name in the Smash competitive scene for a long time, with characters like Mega Man and Sheik. Since picking up Sora in Japan, he's been one of the more consistent Sora players over there as far as tournament results go, though while getting it all the way to Grand Finals isn't the only Sora that had a good run at Glitch. Unleashed is another Sora player who got 13th at Glitch. Crazy, right? 13? Anyways, by the time we got to top 32 in this tournament, there were still 2 Soras in bracket on winner's side, which is crazy. Unleashed has been another Sora on the rise, doing extremely well in a lot of VG boot camps, tournaments, and a lot of locals, claiming the title of best Sora in North America. He had some really good showings at Glitch, and is definitely another Sora you want to keep your eye on. I've definitely learned a lot about Sora at high levels of play watching these two at Glitch. The discussion I see a lot of people having, of course, now though, is if Sora is actually good. And of course, full bias because I do love Sora, but I feel like the character's always been really good. If I had to rate him, I would put him somewhere within the high tier. I don't know if high or low, but right now I would just say somewhere in high tier, which there was a lot of characters in high tier, because a lot of characters are good in this game. Kame personally thinks Sora is top 20, which I mean, if he thinks so, I'm inclined to maybe agree. Let's say Sora isn't that good. Let's say he isn't top 20. He isn't the best character in the game, which he definitely is not. I definitely would love to see people push Sora to that point. Prove to all the doubters out there that Sora can be really good at this top level of play. He can compete, and I'm sure that this tournament inspired a lot of Sora players to keep pushing and keep pushing this character into the meta, which I do think has a place for him, especially if there's discussions about characters that are trying to counter Steve. I think Sora does really well against Steve, as I think Kame proved in this tournament. And I don't just mean well, I mean really well. But that might be a topic for another day. But of course, what character is good or bad in Smash often comes down to a lot of just who's playing them, who's playing this character, who's not playing this character, because player bases do have a big factor in what makes a character good in Smash Ultimate. I mean, this game has so many characters, and I don't think Sora's lack of results necessarily comes down to a lack of people picking him, because I think there's a lot of people picking him, but probably just not competitively. There's a lot of people who have sampled him, who have kind of had him as a sort of pocket pick, but there's not that many Sora mains who are actively traveling and going to tournaments all over the world. And once we start seeing more of that, I think it will be a lot easier to judge where Sora is in the meta. If he's mid tier, if he's high tier, if he's bottom of top tier, wherever that ends up being. Sora's kind of been the meme of Fighters Pass 2 a little, compared to all the other jankiness a lot of these characters are able to do in bracket, from Steve to Kazuya to Aegis. Sora hasn't fully found his way into the discussion with those characters, but hopefully he gets there, for Sora's sake at least. I mean, I know a lot of people hate Fighters Pass 2, so that may not be the best thing for everyone else. Do we see more top level Sora play after this, or is this a one and done? Well, Kame is going to the big house and is going to Port Priority 7, 2 tournaments that are happening pretty soon, and there will be other top players there as well, so we'll be seeing Sora going up against even more of the best players and seeing how he stands in the meta. And another aspect to come out of this is, we finally have Sora VODs to study. For a lot of those other Sora players who are trying their hardest to make this character work, whether it be online or offline at their local scene, who maybe need a little bit of help getting there, we finally have high-level Sora VODs to study. Top player Sora VODs to study. So that should be nice, and hopefully we get a lot more of those in the coming months. Some of the things that I definitely realized about Kame's playstyle is he played a lot more of a fundamental Sora. He wasn't overextending really, he wasn't greedy for combos like I feel like a lot of Soras do get. He wasn't overusing magic, wasn't overusing Nair or Fair. He was very patient with a lot of the options he chose and was very good at reading what his opponent was going to do, whether it was reading a roll, reading an air dodge, and punishing it with the up air, or punishing a roll with the back hit of Nair. There was a lot of things I noticed in this matchup that I'm definitely going to try to apply to my own play, and I'm sure a lot of other Soras are going to try to apply to their own play as well. Another thing for sure worth noting that I somehow have not mentioned in this video that made this tournament so hyped, that was a big factor in it, was how hyped the crowd was. The crowd was so behind Kame, was so behind Sora. It just felt so good. Everyone loves to meme the fire, thunder, deep freeze Sora does. I find it hilarious. The crowd was just making a ton of noise throughout this entire event, and it really makes like any event like this just that much more special when the crowd can really get behind what the players are doing. But that will be about all from me for today's video. For today's Smash video, was this me making Smash content? We'll see how this goes. I love Smash Bros. Well before Sora came out, I'd already put thousands of hours into Ultimate, and I'm definitely putting thousands more into it post Sora's release. So this becomes another aspect of my content as Sora gets higher up in the meta, as we have more of these discussions. This should be a lot of fun. But that will be all from me. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become part of the union, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.
Now she's a daydreamer. She's always thinking about it. No more room in this picture for you to fit in. Now she's crying on the phone, telling you she's not good enough for him. When you think that she is